What is happening, everyone? Thank you so much for being here. Hope that you're having a wonderful day out there on your part of the world, on your earth, on your slice of the continent, wherever you are. And however you are, hope that you're doing well. Okay, for a Long Song Saturday, today we're going to go ahead and do another classical music reaction. This has been highly recommended to me by several of you. We're going to listen and watch this performance, and I want to make sure I pronounce everything right, so I actually have it pulled up here. So let me just play the pronunciation so I say it correctly, but I think it's Smetana. Hold on, let me put...
Smetana.
Smetana. I'm sorry, I did already butcher that. Smetana. Smetana is the name of the composer, and we're going to be listening to...
Moldau.
Moldau seems to be the pronunciation for this. This was composed between 1874 and 1879. I've never heard, obviously, the track, nor have I heard of this particular composer, but I'm very excited to watch this performance, this live performance that is going to be performed. Hold on. Let me find out which orchestra this is going to be. This is from I'm sorry if I mispronounce anything. I really am. But Gymnazija Kranj Symphony Orchestra. I know that I messed that up, and I really apologize for that. But okay, so this has been recommended to me by Paul Hansberry, Palantir, Eric Vermeulen, Rootmaster 19, Mr. Zef Klopp, and then HPSOS. So all of you, thank you so much for the recommendation as I continue my journey into classical music and classical adjacent music. I'm going to pull up the performance here. We're going to go ahead and give it a watch, give it a listen. We'll talk about it after. Let me move myself to the side so the screen can be somewhere over here. And yeah, let's turn my volume down and get into it. Here we go, guys. I like this overlapping, winding melody that they're weaving together. Escalation and de-escalation. Another quick change of pace. Great flow. You heard the way that he brought that rhythm in? And the rest of the orchestra stands in. They really have to watch him at this point, when it's so quiet that the rhythm almost stops. take a stand, take a breath. How wonderful would it be to be in the car, listen to this. That is like, look how proud they are too, because you know all of the hard work that they put into this paid off for this moment and many more moments to come. That's cool. I'm assuming they're going to sit back down to either play something else or do whatever they're going to do. I thought we were going to get like a repress or something happening at the end there. Alright, we're going to stop the video right there for this one. That was incredible. Whew, okay. Once again, as many times before, this is coming from someone very new to all this classical music and trying to understand it. Hence why I like to watch it instead of just listening to it, even though occasionally we do just listen. I love how subtle the music was in so many different parts. I really enjoyed the way that it built up as well, with just this relatively simplistic, well, not simplistic, but you know, relatively straightforward weaving of these melodies. And just kind of on their own, like two birds in the day, just kind of flying on their own. And then so calmly, and I mean like gently, the rest of the orchestra, I almost said band, the rest of the orchestra would come in, just providing wind to the wings of the flutes and the wind section, and it's just magical. And that main melody that it keeps on coming back to, that was reprised later on in the end, it's just such a magical, enchanting melody. Like, that's one of those sounds you hear, and it's so enchanting, magical, and it swings. It perfectly swings, but it just kind of sways you in its hold. It grasps you, and it doesn't let go. And I think that the way that they performed that was both intense and heavy, but like I said, at the same time, caressing and nurturing in another way. Also, as soft as a lot of the music was here, I was really interested in how it got so heavy in different moments, especially when the horn, almost knocked over my table, especially when the horn section came in. They really provided that first glance of heaviness, and then those charges were later on kind of expounded upon as it really got heavy in some interesting ways. About 3/4 of the way through, when they were nearing the end, I want to say maybe about, actually I couldn't even tell you where, but near the end, there's a certain chord that they were throwing in, specifically the string section. They were throwing in just a specific note or chord, and it seemed to add this perfect dissonance to all the melody that they had built up before. I kind of mentioned it when it happened, but it was so unique because it was almost as if we were done with the heavier moments in the music and we were back to like these blissful, graceful, followings. But no. They added in just a little shadow, just a little echo of the past, so to speak, and just a little bit of a callback to those heavy moments. When I love that chord, like that specific note, rang very, very well for me. And then I really enjoyed the what's the triangle player called? Like, what's the proper title for a triangle player? I guess maybe you just put him in with a percussionist, but I just really like the specific sound and tone that the triangle brings into the music, because you can kind of always hear that high-pitched noise, but it also gives the rest of the members a sense of belonging but rhythm. It gives them something else to hold on to. Obviously, they're creating rhythm. The composer up front, he's doing his thing, and of course they're watching him for rhythm and such. But I like the way that the triangle plays that small but important part. Reminds me of Jiminy Cricket. It's small, but it's filled with wisdom. And also you have the rest of the percussionists, the gentleman with the crashes. And I like how he sets it up, because he does like a small one, and then he hits the big one. So it's almost like this nice prelude, crash, prelude, crash. It was just a nice rhythm as it got into the final moments of the track there. And I think the drumming was also quite spectacular. Just watching his hands just do all that. It's impressive. I will never not be impressed watching and listening to classical music, as it seems like it's extremely hard to perform. Just watching them takes years. years and years and years of training. Now, just looking at some information about this piece and reading off of Wikipedia, so this is actually this is one piece in a set of 6 symphonic poems. The 6 pieces conceived as individual works are often presented and recorded as a single work in 6 movements. Okay, well, I apologize because I probably should have done this whole thing in one. I didn't know that it was just a part. All right, so I apologize about that. But it looks like specifically this piece here is a symphonic poem based on a river, actually. It says that this was composed between November 20th and December 8th of 1874. And it is made to evoke the sounds of one of Bohemia's great rivers. And these are in his own words that he says this. He says, the composition describes the course of the, I don't know how to pronounce that, Vltava, I'm sorry, starting from the 2 small springs to the unification of both streams into a single current. That's why those 2 began to weave, like I said in the beginning, and then become, he did an amazing job in putting that scenery into, and of course this nature, this river, into this music. That's incredible the way that translates. The course of the river through woods and meadows, through landscapes where a farmer's wedding is celebrated, the round dance of the mermaids in the night's moonshine. On the nearby rocks loom proud castles, palaces, and ruins aloft. It swirls into the St. John's Rapids, then it widens and flows into Prague, past the Vizhrad, and then majestically vanishes into the distance, ending at the Elbe. How amazing for him to capture all of that. Sorry, holding a pen makes me feel more important and smart. How amazing that it captures all that, those feelings, and me reading it and thinking back to the music, it like makes total sense. Like, oh, of course, this is what he's writing for and what he's alluding to. That is absolutely incredible, the way that he did that. It says that this particular tone poem contains Smetana's most famous tune, is an adaptation of the melody La Mantovana, attributed to the Italian Renaissance tenor Giuseppe Cenci. The tune also appears in a few other places, and this is interesting, Stan Getz performed it as Dear Old Stockholm. That's an interesting translation, huh? Huh. I do feel smart with this. All right, let me put it down. No, just kidding. That is incredible, though. I think that was an amazing piece of music. I think that was an absolutely fantastic watch and a great listen. I hope that it was for you guys as well. Thank you as always for accompanying me on my musical journey, even as ignorant and as empty-minded as I sometimes may be when it comes to things like this. I'm having a great time, and at the end of the day, that's kind of all that matters. I may not understand everything or tell you, technical terms, but I'm having a great time, and I'm enjoying my time here. So please let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you all for the recommendation as well. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching and listening alongside with me. If you did, press that like button down below. Leave a comment as well. You can follow me over on Twitter. You can support the channel and what I do on Patreon. It's $2 a month at least. It helps a lot. You don't have to, but it helps for obvious reasons. So that's the video. I gotta work on these outros. Bye, guys.